Much of the governor's lawsuit centers on a legislative committee's decision not to pass raises for UW workers that were already approved in the 2023-2025 budget. Universities of Wisconsin President Jay Rothman called the move unprecedented in a statement, and that, quote, targeting Universities of Wisconsin employees and their families to compel our universities to eliminate all diversity and inclusion positions left us in an incredible predicament. I am deeply troubled by our employees being stuck in the middle of this dispute. Joining me now is the president of the UW-Madison Faculty Union, Chad Alan Goldberg. Appreciate you taking some time to be here.
Happy to be here.
So what has member reaction been to this new lawsuit?
Our members are supportive. We welcome this action by Governor Evers. We're pleased to see him doing more to stand up for the University of Wisconsin, for the people whose work makes the university work, and for the Wisconsin idea. We are also hopeful that in taking this step, his actions will motivate the regents whom he appointed to break their silence and to speak out forcefully in defense of the institution that it is their jobs to champion and to advocate for.
And you mentioned this a bit here. You've been critical of Governor Tony Evers in the past, saying that he hasn't done enough to support the Universities of Wisconsin. So does the move by the governor then improve confidence by members in his ability to advocate for the UW?
It does. We want Governor Evers to work with us to defend this institution, which is so important to the people of Wisconsin, which is a public good for the state and always has been. We think that this is a move in the right direction. We think there's a lot more work to be done. The issue of the salary adjustments, as important as they are, this is one element of a larger coordinated assault on the University of Wisconsin system. So we'd like to see the governor join us in forcefully opposing those things as well. What I have in mind, of course, the furloughs and layoffs at some of the UW campuses, particularly UW Oshkosh, the closure of one campus, UW Platteville-Richland, and the termination of in-person instruction at other campuses. We see this as all part and parcel of a larger assault on the University of Wisconsin.
Well, this week it was reported that UW President Jay Rothman attended a joint meeting of shared governance bodies recently and followed up that meeting with an email to shared governance members about the UW's efforts to prioritize that pay plan and then get officials across the school system to kind of launch efforts to urge legislators to approve that pay plan. You have expressed frustration directed towards President Rothman that you feel he's been, quote, derelict in his duties, which the system has refuted. But how would this engagement with representatives of staff, faculty, and the student body impact some of the frustrations on campuses?
Well, President Rothman needs to do more than talk to faculty, staff, and students. It's very clear that faculty, staff, and students want an adequately funded UW system, a UW system that has the resources that it needs to carry out its mission and for the people who work in the university to do their jobs. When we have fewer resources, we have fewer opportunities for students. The UW system is now 43rd in the nation in per student funding, and that especially hits rural and less economically privileged students who are losing direct access to higher ed when President Rothman is closing some campuses and terminating in-person instruction at other campuses. So he needs to do more. I would also say that he has characterized the situation as a political disagreement between two branches of government. That's a mischaracterization. What we have here is the legislature refusing to do their jobs, refusing to implement a salary adjustment that doesn't even keep up with inflation. A salary adjustment that has already been approved by the legislature and by the governor. They're holding it up, and they're holding hostage the people who work at the university and the people who make the university work. And the governor is standing up for us and standing up for that institution and for the Wisconsin idea with this lawsuit. President Rothman, frankly, needs to move away from the both sidesism and characterize the situation for what it is, an assault on the system and the institution that it's his job to champion and protect.
So when you say he can do more, what are you referring to?
Yeah, let's be specific. Let's be concrete. First of all, President Rothman is complicit in closures of UW campuses. He is actively involved in closing the UW Platteville Richland campus. He's actively involved in terminating in-person instruction at other campuses. So if he wants to do more for the UW system and for the students who are trying to get an education in the UW system, he can start there. He can undo those decisions. He can back away from that because those decisions are ultimately going to hurt students. Those are, again, as I said, those are decisions that are going to have a disproportionate impact on rural students, on less economically privileged students. Those are the students who are going to lose direct access to higher education when those campuses are closed and when in-person instruction is terminated on those campuses. He can also do more to oppose the furloughs and layoffs at places like UW Oshkosh. So, it's great that he wants to do more. It's great that he appreciates the work that we do, but let's see him take some concrete actions in respect to these issues.
One thing that President Rothman urged in that email was for leaders within the school system to start talking to alumni networks, civic and business leaders. In your view, what can these leaders say to these folks to kind of encourage support for the UW and advocate for the system?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think that they can talk about, if they're alumni, they can talk about their own experiences and how valuable it was to be able to attend the University of Wisconsin, to get the education that they received here, and how much they care that students now, a new generation of students, will have those same opportunities. They can talk about how absurd it is that a salary adjustment that, again, doesn't even keep up with inflation is being halted by Republicans in the state legislature at a time when the state has a record surplus. They can talk about how it's important to protect this amazing institution, this public good that is so important to all the people of the state, rather than hold it hostage in a misguided attempt to do away with programs and policies on campus that promote diversity. These are all things that they can say in their communications with political officials.
UW-Madison Faculty Union President Chad Alan Goldberg, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.